Here in British Columbia, there are areas considered to be hotspots or hot zones for Sasquatch activity. That is, where the creatures have been seen on more than one occasion. In fact, several times in the same area. Now, how does that work? First off, these sightings are spontaneous. They happen at random. Yet there are families that have more than one family member that see them over a period of time. Now that is interesting. You're about to hear a remarkable story of three brothers in British Columbia that saw Sasquatch, the first in 1967, the second in 1977, and the third in 1987, right here above Harrison Lake. Now, before anyone dismisses these guys as telling tall tales, we met with them and had lunch. They're outdoors people, good old boys, married, kids, and they've told a few people. Some believe them. Some dismiss it as funny or unusual. They have nothing to gain by being deceptive. So yes, they had an extraordinary experience. But most fascinating of all is the 30 years separation in their sightings. Have they seen the creatures again? No, they have not. Some may wonder why people would come to us with their stories of sightings or encounters with the Sasquatch. After all, we're not firmly entrenched in this subject. We have a keen interest for sure. It's simple. We know a lot of people that work in the bush, and they may know somebody that has seen something, and they say, you should talk to these guys, they're doing a show on the Sasquatch. Sometimes the stories are outlandish and a little bit far-fetched. Other times, it's a clear case of misinterpretation in the forest. And then, occasionally, from time to time, we hear stories that are so incredible, so bizarre, they may just be true. Such is the case with our next story. And we're grateful people contact us, and if you want to, you're entirely welcome. This next story is one for the books. In terms of strangeness, let's just say it's way off the scale. Last year, a rancher contacted us. He has just over 2,000 acres up in Similkameen country. He lets his cattle roam free, as other ranchers do, and from time to time he will check on them. This time on his ATV. He's cruising up the road at 10 a.m. Something catches his eye in the forest just off the road. He stops his machine and walks into the forest. He hears sounds that today he cannot describe. He calls them awful. As he's walking, he sees shadowy figures, and then it's quite clear what he's seeing. Two large gorilla-type creatures that may be Sasquatch mating. They pay him no mind. It's like they don't even notice. Perhaps they're in the moment. He immediately leaves, gets on his ATV and heads home, and tells his wife, "You won't believe what I just saw." He tells his sons as well. He is 71 years old and a man of truth. He has no reason to lie, fabricate, or create some fictional story, an account of something that didn't happen. You see, there's no reason. Up this way there are no mutilations, no cattle being killed mysteriously. There have been cougar attacks over time, but he thinks it was aliens. You see, he has witnessed UFO sightings for over 50 years, up in his neck of the woods. What is he seeing? He describes them as silver in the daytime, and simply as lights low to the ground, sometimes hovering in the distance. Are Sasquatch aliens? There are those that dismiss the notion, the possibility of a connection between extraterrestrials and Sasquatch, between the forest beings and UFOs. Is it so far-fetched? On the internet, it's totally a quagmire. Virtual quicksand. You can get lost in so many opinions and so much frivolous information. We like to be in the field. We're patient, very analytical in our approach to this subject. We don't believe everything we see, hear, and read. Sometimes we have seen things that have fooled us. This vast place, this incredible land that is British Columbia, Canada's Pacific province, affords us opportunities few will ever have. Exploration into the wilderness, stepping into the mystery. It's a beautiful mystery. For many of you watching this, you understand the murky and deceptive world of the internet on so many subjects. What is truth and what is fiction? It's becoming increasingly hard to discern what is real. Soon the winter will be upon us, and you will not find us charging down the mountain on fiberglass or wood. We will be in the field, tracking, embracing this incredible, invigorating season. And for most of you, you'll curl up by a fireplace. You may watch this. We appreciate your time spent here. We have nothing to sell you, only to show you this vast land, this place we call home, that means everything to us. The flora, the fauna, the respect we share with some of you for all living creatures. And now, let's take a look at some of the areas we've been to on our quest. Our quest, which may be considered noble or frivolous, depending on your point of view. We are most pleased you could join us. In fact, we are grateful you spent time here. Until next time, stay safe, respect one another, stand by.